Mary, would you like to proceed?
Yes, please.
Good evening. This is the meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council regular meeting on Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Borough of Highlands Municipal Building and filing with the Borough Clerk all on January 1st, 2024. Items listed on the agenda are subject to change. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now do roll call. Councilmember Cervantes.
Here.
Councilmember Schlack.
Here.
Councilman Melnick.
Here.
Council President Olszewski. Mayor Bruin.
Here.
First, we have approval of minutes, September 4th, 2024 meeting minutes.
I will offer. I will second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
I'm out.
Councilmember Schlack.
Yes.
Councilman Melnick.
Abstain.
Mayor Bruin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries to approve September 4th, 2024 meeting minutes. Next, we have resolutions. R-24-161, acknowledging receipt and review of the Land Use Board Consistency Report for Ordinance O-2415.
Just to review, the Land Use Board met last Thursday, and we went over the changes. Pretty much they consisted of cleaning up some language just to make it easier to understand. It was a little bit chunky. And also, we added some uses, we changed some uses, and we feel it's just a more streamlined document now and by far easier to understand than the previous one. So they found that it was consistent with the master plan and voted unanimously for it. And so now it is before us yet again. So do I have an offer? I'll offer. Second. Is there any discussion? Does anyone have any questions for Francie?
That's for the ordinance.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Does anyone have questions for our planner? No?
No.
Okay. No. Then roll call, please.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilman Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bruin.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution R-24-161. Next, we have R-24-162, authorizing execution of the shared services agreement between the Borough of Highlands and the Henry Hudson Regional School District.
I'll offer that.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilman Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bruin.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution R-24-162. Next, we have consent agenda. Mayor, would you like me to read the resolutions by title?
Yes, please.
R-24-163, authorizing purchase of Enforcer software mobile version through MC Systems Solutions. R-24-164, authorizing the refund of a bulk permit fee. R-24-165, authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for professional services in connection with the Highlands Tide Valve Installation Project. R-24-166, authorizing payment of bills.
I'll offer it.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Schlack.
Yes.
Councilman Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bruin.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolutions R-24-163 through R-24-166. Next, we have public hearing on proposed ordinance O-2415, adopting the amended Central Business District redevelopment plan pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1, etc.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the public regarding this ordinance? Seeing that is a no. Francie, would you like to make any statement regarding this ordinance? Front side.
Good evening. Francie McManaman, Scotland and Bauman. We serve as redevelopment counsel to the borough. So this ordinance is adopting the amended redevelopment plan, the amended Central Business District redevelopment plan. This redevelopment plan was originally adopted in 2022. Upon review, recent review within the borough team, it was noted that the plan would benefit from an amendment to update current floodplain regulations, streamline development standards in an effort to facilitate development within that redevelopment area, limit residential, which was an initial goal of the redevelopment plan itself, and clarify the redevelopment process, specifically requiring that anyone who is going to develop within the redevelopment area go through the process in accordance with the local redevelopment and housing law, which involves being designated as a redeveloper and also executing a redevelopment agreement with the borough in order to ensure compliance with the requirements of the redevelopment plan.
Thank you. Seeing no other people wanting to make a comment, we'll close public portion?
Sure, on that, yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions or statements? Then can I have a motion, please?
Motion to adopt?
Okay.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilwoman Shalat.
Yes.
Councilor Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bulan.
Yes.
Motion carries. O-2415 passed on second and final reading. Next, we have O-2416, amending Chapter 4, Licensing General, Section 4-14, Short-Term Rentals, Section 4-14.4, Short-Term Rentals Permit, Registration Fee / Application and Certificate of Occupancy, Section 4-14.5, Application Process for Short-Term Rental Permit and Inspections.
So what we changed here is we used to have two separate types of fees. We've just consolidated that into one fee. We also had a process in which there were 4 inspections per year, 1 per quarter, and now that we we first started this ordinance before we had our building department back. Now that the construction official is with us, he said that 1 inspection per year should be fine. So we made all these updates with a lot of his input here, and I will open the public portion if anyone has a comment. Question?
I have one. Did I
Well,
read
Then I'll close public portion. Go ahead.
the application fee, the licensing fee? Did that go up for,
Yes,
it did to, what is it, $750? I think?
yes,
Yeah.
$750 per year, and that includes your inspection.
Okay. All right, very good.
So I'll offer it.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Shalat.
Yes.
Councilor Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bulan.
Yes.
Motion carries. O-2416 passed on second and final reading. Next, we have introduction of proposed ordinance O-2417, designating restricted parking in front of residence occupied by persons with disabilities.
I'll offer it.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilman Shalat.
Yes.
Councilor Melnick.
Yes.
Mayor Bulan.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass O-2417 on first reading with a public hearing to be held on October 2nd, 2024. Next, we have Administrator's Report.
I'll keep it brief tonight. Just wanted to go over a conference I went to last week for the New Jersey Film Ready by the Economic Development Authority. Since Highlands has seemed to be getting a lot of attention for movies and commercials and whatnot, there is a 5-step certification process by the state in order to be named a film-ready town. The first step is attend the Film Ready community workshops, which we've completed. I attended last week. Designate the liaison, adopt the formal permitting process, which we have. Then we get to upload film locations and submit a list of local resources to the state database. In October, I have another meeting scheduled with the Film Commission. Once that's completed, we'll get access to upload locations and different areas in town that we want to highlight for the commission. Basically, once you're designated film ready, everything about the town is put in the database and accessed by directors, producers of different movies and television shows. Just to break down, and the last numbers they had that they gave us in 2022, filming revenue in New Jersey, there were 617 projects for a total of $701,982,000 of revenue that brought into the state. So I think it'd be nice if we got a little chunk of that.
For sure.
Mike, is there any data that shows how much of that goes to those towns that were designated as film ready versus not?
It wasn't broken down that far, but I can ask at my next
That'd be
meeting.
interesting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What we're gonna, and I think it's a great idea. Just here, and here's why, like, here's what we can also be looking on the outside. Cool, thanks.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Before we go to public portion, I just wanted to remind everyone that on September 30th at 6 PM, we're going to have a town hall here regarding the regionalization ballot question, because some people had some questions, and we just want to be as open as possible about that process. Even though it's going to be a little bit later on, I believe it's the 7th of October, again at 6 PM, but over at the cafetorium at Henry Hudson Regional School is going to be a town hall for the other public question, and it will be attended by the Army Corps of Engineers and the DEP, as well as our professionals here. It's going to be not just about the question, it's also going to be an overview about a lot of the projects that we've been working on ourselves, as well as the Corps project and background information. I've personally been working with DEP of putting up not of this, but a really small questionnaire of maybe under 10 questions that they came up with that would be really easy to do on a tablet or a phone or on the computer. As we usually do, I'll print out just a page and get that over to Renee DeMarco over at Patak Tower and Jenny Parker for people that don't have internet access or are otherwise computer adverse, I'll put it. So we'll also print out and have some of those questionnaires here. I'm expecting the counterpart at DEP to get me final questions tomorrow so I can begin programming that. Again, those two dates are September 30th for the regionalization question and October 7th at the high school for the flood wall, both starting at 6 PM.
I know that the date still, so the 7th is not
Sorry?
too close, but like as far as that meeting about the wall, or not the wall, the project, I mean, it's more accurate. Have they advanced that plan any further than the previous meeting, or is it still basically the same content, maybe with additional questions they'll respond to, but as far as the plan itself?
The plan itself has not been advanced any more than it was in May,
Perfect.
to the best of my knowledge. My contact has been, or I should say our contact, me and Mike, has been primarily through NJDEP. And that's why they want to present as a more holistic approach of all of the projects that are
No,
working on,
definitely,
as
yeah.
well as that.
Yeah.
So that's not the only topic of information, it's one bit, but they will be there to address specific questions regarding that project.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay. Any other questions regarding those two meetings?
No, but I have a question for Mr. Ruff.
Oh, go right ahead.
Overlook Park, can you give me any update on it?
We're expecting something, I think it might have been in my email later. We did a presentation that is nowhere near final. But if you want to speak to it more, since you know the slides better.
Yeah, basically what we did was a conceptual review based on one previous meeting to further the idea of what can be an overlook park. And basically my team is going back and going to refine it. There are deliverables that go over late today.
Okay.
But basically from there, we're going to evaluate pricing, phasing, and then look to provide a proposal for design development based on what we need. Basically, to look at various engineering parameters of structural needed, geotechnical, things are not needed right now, because we're going to do something a little more simple. So that due diligence is going to be going on in the next few weeks.
You have any ETA, I mean, maybe by next spring, would it be, I mean, it's not a lot of work, I would imagine.
We'll allocate the money budgetary wise and see where the borough's at, and then we'll work with the borough to make project fits what's available and comply with the grant.
Right,
There's
exactly.
two of them.
Sure.
And the grant deadlines are recorded, we're recording that.
Good, okay, thank you. That's it.
And I'll get that over to you guys as soon as this meeting's over. There's some pretty grand ideas in there that are, quite frankly, a lot more than we would ever be willing to spend on a park that no one can get to driving in a car. I mean, they're really super cool ideas, but it's, we have to be mindful of spending taxpayer dollars. Any other questions? Are we good to go to public portion?
Public
Okay.
portion. Individuals wishing to address the council shall be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their name, address, and the group, if any, they represent. Although the council encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate remarks to and/or by any individuals not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. If any individual refuses to conduct themselves in a proper manner, they will be removed from the meeting. The council will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving employment, appointment, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of promotion or discipline of any specific or prospective or current employee. There's a 3-minute time limit.
I'm Z, I'm normally at the end.
Okay.
Joseph Doran, 102 Valley Avenue. Just briefly, I don't know if I'm asking this question too soon, but the Land Use Board dismissed the application for the 14-32 North Beach Street project. So my question is about enforcement of some of the violations there. Most importantly, the steep slope violation, as to how that will be addressed by the borough at this time. I don't know if I'm asking too soon, because it just happened last week. A letter was sent by my lawyer to the administration, I think to zoning and to code enforcement. Is any comment that can be?
I can tell you, I got a copy of the letter, I think it was yesterday. I haven't had a chance to sit down and discuss anything yet with Sandy or buildings and grounds or code.
Okay. You only received it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday. Big packet. Certified mail. Yeah. I thought it was yesterday, or maybe the day before.
I was only aware of a letter that was sent to you by my lawyer.
No, I got something different. I could show it to you.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it had the different copies of the pictures.
Oh, there were pictures.
Yeah,
There were pictures on the letter.
Yes.
That was,
Yes.
yeah, but that was the extent of it, correct? Okay. It was the pictures you're referring to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Which was evidence of recent storm water coming down. So there's nothing to report, so.
Not today.
Not at this time. Okay, so there's no conversation between you and code enforcement?
No, I haven't yet, no. Hopefully by the next meeting or before that, I'll
Okay.
give you a call.
All right. Also, contact my lawyer. I would appreciate that. He's basically representing me at this point.
Okay.
In most things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorn.
Bob Zelinski, I live at 68 Portland Road, and I only thought I had 2 minutes, so I'm good. I have 3 minutes. I think if you ask residents of Highlands, do they want to go through another storm like Sandy? I think it'd be nearly 100% saying no. I think if you ask people, do you love living in the Highlands? People are here, I think the answer would be yes. I also think if you ask people, do you want to protect Highlands, infrastructure, homes, businesses from another storm like Sandy, or even stronger than Sandy, the answer would be yes. We don't want our businesses or infrastructure or homes destroyed. And I think if you ask people, would you like lower flood insurance rates? I think everyone would say yes, too. And then if you ask them, would you like $179 million of free federal and state money? That's a double yes. And then I think you could ask, would you want your property values to increase? And again, I think that's also a yes. The ballot question we have, to me, if you just summarize it in just a few words, it's basically, do you want higher taxes? And do you want the feds to take your property, possibly take your property? I think what's missing in that question is anything positive about the Army Corps of Engineers study. And I think the residents need to know what a no vote, what the ramification of a no vote really is. And one of those is that the Corps of Engineers, they're $128 million for the project. I'm estimating 51 from the state would be gone, and Highlands would have no funds to protect themselves from future storm surges, which are coming, and they're going to be stronger than what Sandy was. Again, I think property values would decrease if we got hit by another storm like Sandy, and without having any protection in place. And this might increase or decrease the home values in businesses when the community and other people in the state realize that Highlands is voted no, if that's what the outcome is, on protecting our borough. Again, taxes would go up if there's another storm like Sandy to repair infrastructure. Flood insurance, if it's available, if we have another Sandy or 2 or 3, would the flood insurance program cut off Highlands from having that available? And then also, I think there's a concern that FEMA would be hesitant about spending recovery money in a town that refused to help themselves. And again, I think it's a thing to note that if the wall project was in place for Sandy, that, again, I think they're using an elevation of 14 feet above sea level, or their mean sea level, and Sandy was, I think, 13.1 feet. So most of the town would have been protected if we had the wall in place. And I believe to have a fair and representative vote on that question, the council should send out a postcard, a letter or something to all residents presenting both sides, the positives and the negatives of the project. And so that Highlands can keep discussing this project with the Corps of Engineers. And again, I think a no vote, might cut that off entirely, take the money and go. The borough has initially, I guess in 2010, there was talk about funding, and there was no interest in that. I think it was for the whole Bayside community. In 2017, the borough rejected the project. In 2018, the Corps of Engineers and DPE came back and asked them to reconsider. And I think in April, the council voted that down. And then there was another meeting in August, a workshop, and then finally in September of 2018, the council agreed to rescind the negative, that we would not support it, and that they would see that the project would want to see the completion at no cost to the borough. So there's been several times where we've been kind of difficult to the Corps of Engineers because we've turned it down so many times. And again, I think that to get a fair and representative vote, we need to get information out to the residents rather than just the 2 negative things, but get some positive things out there, because this could save the town and save businesses and save infrastructure costs. So, thank you.
Okay. I invite you to look back at your history, though, because a lot of the things that you said are not true. Like lowering flood insurance rates, the Corps and DEP said it will have no effect on flood insurance. Flood insurance is your height of your property and your proximity to the water. That's it. Okay. Also, your recanting of, it was never the project that we were voting yes or no for. It was completion of the study.
Okay.
So you kept on saying the project. It wasn't about the project. It was about completion of the study.
Okay. Which is still what they're doing now. Is
correct.
We're looking at
which they're still only 35% complete after nearly 3 decades.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to make sure that you've got your talking points correct when you're going to talk about it, okay?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Seeing no one else, I will close public portion, and I will motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned at 7:25.